Now, Europe is headed for an election Super Sunday. Millions of voters in Romania, Poland and Portugal will be casting their ballots this weekend. In all three countries, the outcome will determine the course that these three democracies will take at a time of heightened political, commercial and economic tensions in Europe. In Romania, the far-right candidate is the front runner in a presidential runoff. In a deeply polarized first-round vote in Poland, a liberal, conservative and a far-right candidate are vying to become president. And in Portugal, which is holding a snap legislative election just 14 months after the last vote, the status quo looks set to continue. Now, the ultra-nationalist George Simeon, who won the first round with a very comfortable margin, is in a runoff against the centrist independent Nicosur Dan. Simeon wants to halt military aid to Ukraine and a socially conservative agenda. Nicosur Dan has cast the runoff as a fight between a pro-Western and an anti-Western direction for Romania. The polls show the gap between the two narrowing, with one putting them neck and neck. The analysts have in fact called this the most important vote in the country's post-communist history, saying Simeon's victory could lead to the country swinging sharply to the right. Now, Sunday's vote in Poland will narrow down the list of contenders to be the country's next president. It is a high-stakes election, certainly for Donald Tusk's government. The Tusk Civic Coalition that is in government is looking to put its own man in the president's job. And their candidate is Rafał Trzaskowski, who has consistently led the polls, winning the presidential race, would consolidate the government's position and could also help it fulfill some of its liberal promises on social issues, such as abortion and the LGBTQ+ rights. Now, in a wide field of candidates, the main opposition comes from Conservative leader Karol Nawrocki. Now, the campaign also reflects a recent trend in several European countries of far right. Candidates are polling pretty well if none of the candidates receive at least 50% of the votes on Sunday. There will be a runoff between the top two candidates on the 1st of June. The centre-right Prime Minister Luis Montenegro triggered Sunday's elections in response to the growing questions over his family's business activities. The Montenegro, who is the leader of the Democratic Alliance Party, had staged a confidence vote in his administration in March, saying that he wanted to end the atmosphere of permanent insinuations and intrigue. But he lost the vote and fresh elections were called. Now, recent polls have suggested a similar result to last time, putting the incumbent Democrat Alliance at about 33%. The pollsters say that Montenegro's own party appears likely to once again fall short of a majority. There's also been speculation that Montenegro's own Social Democrat Party could replace him with someone more amenable to working with a far-right candidate, Chega, should he fail to deliver on Sunday. For all the latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.